Lisa Herklotz. I am co-minister here along with Reverend Jim Ernstsen, and it is our honor to be the spiritual leads at this community. Unity of Charlotte. We always begin by reading our mission statement because this is the purpose for us being here. So we invite you to read aloud with us as we give voice to these powerful words. Unity of Charlotte is the place where we nurture a deep and mature experience of God through the practice of unity principles. Simply put, we are here to love, grow, and serve. Love, grow, and serve. We always want to see if we have anybody visiting us for the first time. We have one guest, which you're going to hear about in a moment, but all right. All have been here before, but all brand new. So welcome, welcome. There's always many ways to find out what's happening at Unity of Charlotte. We have a website that we keep updated. We have a weekly newsletter that goes out. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Bluesky. And we also have a YouTube channel where you can find not only the recordings of our services, but also reels that are short snippets of inspirational talks or music. So check that out. Check that out. And of course, we have our bulletin board. If you're here in person, check our bulletin board as you head to the fellowship hall, to Unity Cafe. If it's comfortable, gently close your eyes and bring your attention now inward as we move from our head to our heart. And we take a moment to remember. Prayer is remembering. Prayer is remembering the presence of God, which is never absent, always wholly available, always in full power. It is remembering that that power and presence lives within us. It lives within every living being. And it is the energy of life that connects us on this planet and beyond. As we deeply center our awareness in this presence, we remember our own divine nature. We remember we are the light. And we remember our calling to bring that light forth into our thoughts, our beliefs, our words, and our actions. It may show up in so many different ways, for we are each unique expressions of this one divine source. And every expression is here to know and be and live in love, for that is what God is. As we remember this, we shine this light out and we see it touching every living being, but especially those who may be hurting, those who are suffering, those in need of healing, whether it's physical or mental or emotional. We see this light touching every corner of the world, bringing an awakening to the remembrance that we are all of one source. We express differently, but we connect through love. We see that happening in every corner of this world. And we see that healing, not only awakening in each individual, but awakening in our planet. As we all learn to live in the wholeness that we are, and the wholeness that God is. In gratitude for knowing these truths, for being able to claim these truths out loud, we say, so it is. Amen. With your eyes still closed, we open up for a moment of silence, and into that silence, I invite you to speak a name of a person or a situation you would like to uplift in prayer. You may do that now. Leaders. And we now claim together the holy presence of Spirit working within each and every one of these requests, named or unnamed, for Spirit knows what is in our hearts. And with the presence of Spirit, we know, working through each situation, bringing it to its best and highest outcomes. And so it is. I invite you now to say our unity prayer of oneness. There is one presence and one power in my life and universe, God the good, omnipotence. I now invite Sean up to read, prayer request. If you have anything you would like to have prayed over, we have a prayer team that does that. They welcome any request. There's a box right outside the door. Don't leave here with anything heavy on your heart. Write a prayer request out, put it in that box. It goes to our prayer team. They hold everything in complete confidence and lift that up in prayer. When they pray over it 30 days, then they send it to Silent Unity where it's prayed over for another 30 days. So that's a lot of good prayer power. If you missed the box and it's during the week and you want to put a prayer request in, go to our website. There is a link to add a prayer request in there. And I'd also now like to invite up Sean to do our daily word.
Maybe pressing the power button would help. The word of the day for Sunday, May 17th is flow. The words I speak flow from infinite wisdom. As I picture a crystal clear stream rushing down the steep mountain slope, I also see it gathering in still pools, calm, deep, and life-giving. This image reminds me that my words and actions flow from a peace that passes understanding, nourished by the divine good. Open to this infinite presence, my heart is steadied and my mind is focused. The words I speak and the choices I make become rich and meaningful. They are not surface ripples, but carry the deep and depth and power of spiritual truth. As water flows from the mountaintop to the coastline, the presence of Spirit flows into every part of my life. Divine love pours into human experience. I am both the rushing waters and the deep pools. And from this stream of wisdom, I speak the words that give life. And from Proverbs 18, verse 4, the words of the mouth are deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is a gushing stream. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sean. And now we get to hear our first music selection by Miss Monique Taylor. Welcome.
Oh, Lord, yeah. There will be mountains that I will have to climb, and there will be battles that I will have to fight. But victory or defeat, it's up to me to decide. But how can I expect to win if I never try? I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Never said there would be trials, never said I wouldn't fall, never said that everything would go the way I wanted to go. But when my back is against the wall and I feel my hope is gone, I just lift my head up to the sky and say, help me to be strong. Oh, I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Even though you didn't bring me out here to leave you lonely, even when I can't see clearly, I know that you are with me, so I can't. Oh, said I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. In the end, I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. I can't give up now. Oh, I can't give up now. Said I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. In the end, I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. I can't give up now. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Help me sing it, guys. Come on, clap your hands. I just can't give up now. Said I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. And I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. All right, all right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Monique. We're so happy to have you here. That was just beautiful and a great introduction to our talk today, which is kind of a different thing. It's not really going to be a talk the way we usually do it. We mentioned this last Sunday to everybody, that we wanted to have more of a conversational expression this Sunday. And we asked you to send us emails with what was weighing the heaviest on your heart. And we got 2 or 3 of them. And as you might guess, there's a fairly common theme to those. Mostly, it's the political environment we're in. It's the divisive nature our society has moved into. And there's a couple of topics we're going to pull out of that from those questions to talk to you about today.
We skipped right over the part where it said, I'm having boyfriend problems. No, we're not going there.
Maybe that'll be next week. But first I want to make sure, does everybody have one of these? Everyone's got theirs? Do you need one? Marty? Oh, good. You got it. Good. Okay. I just want to make sure we're going to share one. Does anyone know what these are? Most of you do. Good. We're going to find out why you have one in a moment, but let's practice. Okay. I just want you to have the experience. You can do this with someone next to you, or you can do it yourself. Kind of scrunch it in, slide a finger in, and then pull. 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 I want out. All right, stop. Release, relax, push towards each other, and relax your finger, and pull it out. So, we're going to play with this in a minute. I want to start off with the fact that when we got these emails this past week, we kind of felt a heaviness.
Absolutely.
There's a few days of feeling really heavy because these are big topics. And when I say big, they're big in the level of emotion and concern and care it's drawing out of us. And it doesn't matter where you land on the spectrum, politically, socially, wherever, there's big emotions everywhere with everyone. And it feels impossible. That's why I love your song, right? Yeah. We feel like we've been climbing up some hills lately, and it's exhausting. It can feel exhausting. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that we don't want to go past these emotions. We talked about, after a couple of days, I'm like, Jim, wow, I feel this heaviness. Mm-hmm. And we sat with it. We said, yeah, because look at what we're facing, what we appear to be facing. And we sat and allowed those emotions to be. Without reacting, without responding to them, we just felt them and said, yeah, here they are. So this is a place I want to start because it's really important before we get into these spiritual principles to know that we don't use spiritual principles to bypass what we feel.
We're not denying it.
Right. That's called spiritual bypass. When you go, oh, no, forget it. God's here. Don't worry about anything. You have to feel what you feel because emotions are a part of who we are. It's a part of our expression as human beings on this planet. So if we get angry, anger's okay. What we do with anger is critical. And that's where our spiritual principles come in. But I always want to start with the fact that, and Unity teaches this regularly. Maybe we'll get into it when Reverend Jim talks about prayer. But if we don't learn to manage our thoughts and manage our emotions, and by manage I don't mean deny, I mean learn how to allow them to express and release. How to transform that energy, because everything's just energy. Think about that. My anger's energy. It's telling me something. It's informing me that there's something I'm experiencing that feels off. That's not inappropriate. That's appropriate. Now, what do I do with that anger has everything to do with whether I'm going to create a cycle of anger that feeds on itself, or I'm going to allow it to transform and energize love. Did you ever think about anger energizing love? Yeah, Beth has. So let's talk about that a bit. So the question, just to let you know, I'm going to be addressing, we're going to go back and forth with the questions, is when I see such cruelty in the world, how can I experience oneness instead of anger when I see others doing such harmful things? And the first thing I thought of is you have to deal with feelings first. Because the answer always is go to God first. But when we're angry, it's hard to find God within. And we're not looking for God out here, remember. God is already present, ever present. He has not left us. He is still always here. I'm slipped into a he again, but that presence never leaves us. So if I'm angry, the very first thing I want to do is go, wow, don't identify with your feelings. Your feelings are something you have. They're not who you are. That's very helpful. I'm not angry. I'm having feelings of anger. Now there's a me with feelings that I can deal with, right? If I am my anger, then what do I do with myself? I am feeling anger. It's okay. Now what do I want to do with it is the next question. We're keeping each other on time, so if you see us do this, that's for each other. So I don't take up all your time. I got about a minute left, all right. So we need to learn how to respond instead of reacting. So our spiritual principles are not about being passive, and I think this is really critical, because one of the things is I feel like I can't take any action because I need to just pause and go within. Well, you do need to pause and go within, because how you show up in your action has everything to do with what you're bringing to the situation. That's why we have to learn to deal with our emotions in a way that is healthy and transformative. If we bury them, they're not going to go away. They're going to come out again in ways that may even surprise us. But we recognize it, we see it as energy, we turn within, remember who we are. I am a holy child of God. I am whole, I am complete. I am an expression of God's love. I'm feeling this anger because I see something unjust happening. Jesus got angry. He expressed his anger, but he didn't express it in judgment and condemnation. Or if he did, it was very quick, because it was followed by forgiveness, which we'll talk about next. So if I'm seeing unjustness out there and I'm feeling anger, I need to recognize it, own it, and turn within to have it transformed. How can I use this energy in this situation to be a catalyst of love and connection? Because otherwise, all I'm doing is bringing anger into a situation that's already angry. I'm bringing hatred into a situation where there's already hate. I'm bringing fear. I'm bringing stress. I'm bringing confusion into something that needs clarity and love. It needs something new. So I have a quote for you. This is from Buckminster Fuller. Do any of you know Buckminster Fuller, the author? This is from his book, Operating Manual for the Spaceship Earth. Pretty good. I've actually not read it, but here's a quote. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. It's like Beth knows that one. Now, from a spiritual perspective, I can fight what's out there. I can go and, thank you. Yes. I can go out there and say, we don't want this, we don't want that. I can go to a rally and spew all my anger out, and it feels good for a moment, doesn't it? It feels good to rant for about a moment. And then we go home and it just never goes away, because it doesn't resolve anything. It's just feeding the machine. But what if we do, and this is what unity is about, we're building a new model, a new way to be with each other, which is accepting, loving, and forgiving of even that person that's really challenging us. So I'm going to leave it at that and then let Reverend Jim take the next question.
Who's seen the television show, The Chosen? Yeah, there was an interesting piece of it. We watched it, I think, last week, one of the episodes we watched. And it was the episode where Jesus did turn over the tables. And the point that the show was making was Jesus didn't focus his anger on any person or people. It was the situation, it was the tables. I just thought that was interesting. I'd never thought of that before. Our second question here is this. It's difficult for me to think that prayer and positive thinking is the answer, since I tend to be an action person. First of all, I want to address this in terms of the expectation of this question, or the theory behind this is that I either have to pray or I have to do. It's one or the other. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to suggest that it's not. But there are steps in order to get to your action that you feel is going to help this situation. What I will say within unity is prayer is first. Prayer is the first step. So it's not, I see something going on out there, I need to run out and whatever.
Which is a reaction
Which is a reaction rather, yeah.
to the emotion.
Exactly, to your emotion, right. So take that pause and do it. But also know that one of the assumptions here was it's talking about prayer and positive thinking. We'll talk about positive thinking in a second. But it's talking about prayer as being passive. And it's not. Prayer is not passive. I'm seeing nods and shakes of the head. Prayer is not passive. Prayer is the first step. Yes, it is. Prayer is powerful. That's where we want to start our understanding. And to believe that this prayer is part of the steps that lead us to action. So prayer is in that. Prayer is in that piece of it. Prayer is never meant to replace action. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It's a stepping stone towards the action but without prayer, we may be coming from fear, control, exhaustion, anger, reaction. We don't want to skip the steps that lead us to the proper action in which we're going to take. So,
Can I say something real quick?
Jump in here real quick.
We tend to think that prayer and meditation are, because they don't show up in the way that our society says is necessary, right? Society says you have to do something. But doing without guidance and inspiration is just spinning a wheel. It's spinning a wheel. It's not providing any kind of solution. So prayer is the inspiration and the guidance you seek for the actions that we take.
Jesus is our way shower. He showed us how to do things. What was the first thing Jesus did whenever he was confronted with something important in his life? He separated himself from the situation. He didn't dive headlong into it. He separated himself and he prayed. And then he came back and dealt with it.
So can I jump in again? I'm going to. So because the prayer, first of all, is action. Because prayer is the action of, it's not about the words. Prayer is communion with God. Prayer is about getting centered again into who we know we are with our divine source. So when we go into prayer, it doesn't have to be a way. It could be pausing for a moment in a conversation, closing our eyes and going, I need a moment, recentering ourselves by remembering who we are and the presence of God in this moment and the presence of God in that person that we're talking to. Our presence of God in the situation that we're looking at.
Okay.
Then when we come, and that is an action. That is taking action.
2 more points. This person asked about positive thinking. Positive thinking is not the affirmative process that we talk about. So when this person mentioned that, it is not a denial process. Oh, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. That's not what we're talking about, how to do it. These are not the steps. So positive thinking in terms of denying that this thing is happening is not what we're talking about. But we're talking about not pretending, but instead aligning with the truth that we know. The affirmations that we come up with and feed ourselves are the truth that we know it in a spiritual sense. So positive thinking is not necessarily affirmative action or affirmations also. The second piece, and this is the practical piece, this is what you should take home. This is what you can take home with you. The practical piece is we start with prayer. You move into prayer. Absolutely. I've only got about 30 seconds left. Time me.
We're trying to get through this. I think 3 questions was way too much.
I know. I think we bit off more than we can chew on here. Prayer is where we start. From that prayer, it's active listening. What is the Spirit telling me at this point? I pray. I listen. I align myself with that listening. I get myself aligned with that. And then what do? I act. I pray. I listen. I align. And then I do something. That's our 5th principle, is I do something. Boom. Did I make it?
You're perfect. Except now I'm going to add to it.
Oh, okay.
Because there's an element to this that's important when we do prayer and we are seeking guidance on what to say and what to do. We must be willing to let go of the outcome we think is necessary.
Good point.
Right? This doesn't come innately natural in our human state. Our human state wants to control. So it sees suffering out there and it wants to go. And believe me, these questions have been something we've been living into for years now with the state of the world and how to live these principles and be that presence. And the longer I live into these questions, the clearer it is getting to me. I'm not called to convert. I'm not out here to convert people. I'm out here to bring the light that I know I am. And that will shine and do its work in the light of the person I'm speaking to. It's not my perspective of what they should do, and it's not my perspective of how they should be. Certainly, if there's someone causing pain to somebody, we want that to stop. And you can take action to do that, but not when we're judging and condemning them, but seeing them as somebody who needs love, who needs a better perception, who needs to understand. And if we stop attacking that person, we can actually open up an opportunity to change that whole scenario. But
Next.
outcome, well, I'm probably going into my next one,
Okay.
which is where? Let me see my little notes here. It's hard to be forgiving and loving towards those I feel are creating pain and suffering in this world. And these could be individuals, or it could be people in the government, it could be businesses, neighbors. It doesn't matter who is causing that experience in you. But it's robbing you of your own happiness, and it's robbing the world of happiness to not be able to forgive. And all of this, actually, these answers to all these questions are really basically the same. And we probably reduce it down to some very simple steps at the end. Hard to be forgiving and loving towards those who are causing pain. Yeah, I'd agree. Sure seems that way. Some things seem a little easier to forgive and some are a little harder. I think it gets harder when it's out there in the world in a more broad sense because we feel less control over that. I can't necessarily change everybody's mind about the environment or climate change, but I can speak my truth about it without condemning them. And that's the key. Because somewhere I got to understand everybody has a different worldview. Everybody's coming from a different place and a different perspective. Forgiveness is a perspective. Forgiveness is when I change my perspective about the person I'm condemning or judging. Because, as we started, if we are all children of God, then so is that person. They may not be acting from love, but then I need to look at, am I acting from love? Am I acting from love first?
Let me mention really quick, one of my mentors, whenever I would go to him with an issue that I was working on, I'm struggling with this thing, the very first thing he would always say is, who or what do you need to forgive? Mm-hmm. Right. And you know what? The first couple of times, I embraced it. About the 4th or 5th time that I did that, and he says, what needs to be forgiven? It's like, no.
It's really this person.
Just tell me. But it is a process. What is it that you need to forgive?
It's important to understand forgiveness doesn't mean approval. to forgive somebody who's actually causing harm to another doesn't mean we approve of that behavior or action.
No.
It means we're going to find ways to alleviate that suffering without condemning that person. Remembering that it's not the person, it's their actions. If you can separate their actions from the person, that's the beginning of being able to see the divine in them, right? We're always talking about see the Christ in your neighbor, see the Christ in your brother and sister, see their light past their behaviors. Now, that doesn't mean we don't create healthy boundaries if it's in personal relationships. You don't stay with someone who's abusive. You get out of that relationship. If you see someone who's abusing children, you get the children out of that situation. The key is, do you hold that person in that's causing that harm in condemnation? Are they a horrible person, a bad person, they need to be punished? That's the key to find out. What do you think needs to happen? What do you want for them? What do you want for that person who's causing harm?
We also teach, and I'm thinking that this might be a good time as well to bring back this workshop. Alan Tipping is an author that has done a radical forgiveness, and I like to address it at least once a year. It's so good. So let's think about that. Let's think about making that offer to teach radical forgiveness once again. So look for that in our future.
So here's where I want to play with these for a minute. I want you to turn to your neighbor again. Both of you put your fingers in there. Now here's a person that's challenging you. And every time you judge them, you're pulling away, right? You're not trying to connect with them. You're making a judgment. And you're pulling away. You're pulling away.
I'm right.
No, I'm right. I'm right. No, you need to see it like this. You need to see it like this. You're wrong. Okay. You're stuck together forever. Is that what you want?
Whoops. No.
You're not going to release this person. The thing you're feeling is inside you. It's going to stay with you. Now, relax and move towards that person. Move towards that person and relax and remove your finger. When you move together, not in tension, but in acceptance, you can release that person, but who else are you releasing? You're releasing yourself. That is forgiveness. That is forgiveness. It doesn't mean we don't do something about the harmful actions. But we go to prayer, we get centered, we see the love that's there underneath, and we call it forth. And we'll know what to do. We will know what to do. And going back to the idea of affirmative prayer, it's really important to create a vision of what you want. I mean, I go to the rallies. I go to the big rallies because I think numbers matter. I think the number of people out there matter. And I show up because they have been, in my experience, most of them, very peaceful, very uplifting, and they speak to what they want, not what they don't want, right? I went to another rally where they just started to yell, F you, with you, and I'm like, okay, I can't stay there because I don't want to feed my energy into that. That's not what I want. Let me give you examples. I don't want detention camps for immigrants. Now I can go out there and go, no more, or I can say, I want an immigration process that's just, fair, and manageable and treats all humans with respect. Mm-hmm. Now, what do you want to feed your energy into? I can say, I want to stop pollution and destructive environmental practices. Well, I really do. And I can get very energized about that. But what if I said, I see holistic systems coming into place that work in harmony with nature and provide all people with abundance? That's what I'm going to fuel. And I can go to rallies, and I can go to meetings, and I can get together with people. But where am I putting my energy into? I can do this. I don't. Get rid of, no. or I can go, let me meet you and tell you what I want. And we're both liberated.
I think we're out of time.
Okay, well, let's end with this. I'm going to end with the practices I had, and you add anything that you see. What can you do? Because this is very practical. We wanted this talk to be very practical. It's the first time we've done this, so thank you for giving us some grace. We're kind of learning how to do it better. We'll probably do it again in the future. Thank you. Good, good.
You just like the toys.
First, we know we're probably going to only have 2 questions, not more. First and foremost, what do we do in our spiritual practice? First and foremost. Pray. What does that mean? Find the Christ within. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Center. Align with God, align with Spirit, align with truth. Very first thing, no matter what the situation is. Next, speak your truth firmly, but with compassion. We don't speak our truth to try to make that person believe us or try to make that person change. We're speaking our truth because it's true for us, and we have a compassion for others in the world. Protect vulnerable people. These are actions you can take. You can do things to protect those who are vulnerable. You can set healthy boundaries. This is not a passive doormat activity. This is about standing in your truth and knowing when to walk away. It's okay to walk away from those who are very firm in their belief. And if it gets abusive or very shut down, it's okay to bless them and leave. They're on their journey. This is the thing. They're on their journey. Let them be on their journey without condemnation or judgment. Refuse to dehumanize anyone, including those in power that you think are abusing it. Do not dehumanize them.
That's the tricky one, and I hear people, very spiritual people, will come up to me and say, I'm working on this thing, but I hate this person. Whoa, right? That's the wrong step. Look at that again is what I'm saying. Look at that again.
That's juicy grounds for deep spiritual work. That's what I'm going to say. Juicy grounds for deep spiritual work. Praying for awakening rather than punishment. This is kind of key to know how you're feeling about somebody, is what do you want for them? I am happy to say that I'm at a point where I don't want anyone to be punished, even the worst of the worst. I want them to wake up and to know that they are a holy child of God, wholly loved, totally supported, and that they belong in this world with everyone else. Because their behaviors are based on they don't believe that. Breathe deeply before responding. Breathe deeply before responding. I like this one. Pray before posting. Before you post something, before you react to a post, before you send that email, it's okay to hold off. A moment, 5 moments, a day, because by that time you'll have taken that anger, and because we've now, what do? We allow it to transform and become a catalyst for love. But that takes time. Give your body and your soul a chance to process that.
Can I tell a quick story?
Sure.
This is a whoops from Reverend Jim's life. This is a whoops. I was on a board, and it was a difficult board, and we had a lot of issues that we were trying to work out. And the board meeting ended, and I was so frustrated. I was driving home, and I pulled over. I was so upset. I pulled over, and I wanted to text you, and I just shot off a text. These people don't know what they're talking about, right? It's obvious. And boom, I sent it. I got back in the car. I had sent that message to the whole board. Talk about whoops, huh? There was no secrets from that point on, and I had to do some. I had to do some work at that point. But had I taken that breath, paused, I would have realized that was not appropriate. It was not appropriate.
And it's okay to have a moment to feel that. But that pause And then a question. For me, I pause and I go, what do I want to do with this? And until I have a clear answer that feels whole and complete to me, I don't do anything. And if that means inaction for a moment, it's okay. That inaction is more important than rushing out there to do something. Listen before condemning. Listen is another whole talk. We've done it before, but we'll keep doing it. But listening is the greatest spiritual practice you will ever have with anyone. Because to listen means to let go of your ideas, let go of your judgments, and just hear them and where they are. And make it, and that's the only way you really connect with anyone. And ultimately, you will begin to experience God in them. You will begin to experience that light in them, despite the fact you may have completely different worldviews. And finally, remember that peace is not weakness. Peace is not weakness. It is power under spiritual direction. It is more powerful than violence. It is more powerful than anything else. And the one thing that I know I can do when I become very heavy at what I see happening in this world is to remember that God is, and divine order is always present, and life unfolds in ways that are unexpected. And when I feel like I've climbed that mountain and I'm exhausted, I remember I have not been left. God's still here. And I do what I need to do in the moment. So, thank you for letting us share this way. We will we'll try it again another time, but we have a nice meditation for you. So, namaste, friends.
Do you want to do that?
Oh, yes. Oh, just a little bit, because she's going to sing again. So, this is a shortened version of a meditation we did yesterday for unity and diversity, or diversity and unity. As we begin, gently close your eyes. And we allow this bell to call us inward.
We settle gently into this moment. We feel our body supported. We feel the chair beneath us, the floor beneath us, the earth beneath us all. We take in a slow breath with a long, easy breath out. We're simply here. Again, a slow breath in and a long, easy breath out. As we breathe in, we receive awareness. Breathing out, we soften into presence. Bring that awareness now to the center of your chest, into your heart space. Imagine a warm light, steady, quiet, alive. It is in the living expression of the divine life that is within you. As you breathe, this light becomes softer, becomes wider, more radiant. Perhaps it begins to extend beyond your body, surrounding you and the person next to you with gentleness, with peace. Now imagine that every person in this room also carries this same sacred light. We might have different stories, different struggles, different joys. Yes, we are different, yet We are one in that divine life, expressing itself in so many forms.
The breath moving through me moves through all beings.
Now gently bring to mind someone that you love. See them surrounded in light. And silently bless them. May you know peace. May you know wholeness. May you love. And may you know love. Now allow that blessing to widen out to strangers that you will probably never even meet. The diversity of this world. To those people who have been feeling forgotten. To those who might be carrying fear. To those seeking shelter, meaning, connection in their lives. May all beings remember their sacred worth, no matter how unique they may appear. May all beings awaken to compassion. May they know that they belong. And now, even for this brief moment, extend that same grace towards those people that you struggle to understand. And without denying the pain that you or they may be feeling, we don't abandon this wisdom that we've been speaking of. We simply recognize that they too are human. They seek peace. They too carry longing in their lives. Beneath every mask of fear and division, the same sacred life remains.
In the stillness, beyond names and roles, we meet each other as one.
Now gently return your awareness back to your own breathing. Feel the body, the hands, the feet, the rhythm of your breath. Notice that something may feel quieter now, more spacious, more connected. You do not leave this unity with others behind when the meditation ends, but you carry it with you into every conversation, every interaction, every ordinary moment of your life, each act of kindness, each moment of listening to another, each choice, compassion becomes that living prayer for this world.
We now invite you to repeat these affirmations with your eyes remaining closed and in this presence. Repeat these affirmations after us. We are one life. One presence. One humanity. And in this awareness, we walk gently with one another. We bless the world by our being. And so it is.
If you haven't already, you may open your eyes and come back into this room.
So we invite Monique up for her second song, Lovely Day.
Two. Come on and clap your hands, everybody. It's gonna be a lovely day. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, oh, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Oh, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, it's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, melodies from heaven rain down on me, rain down on me. Yeah, melodies from heaven rain down on me, rain down on me. Take me in your arms and hold me closer. Rain down on me, rain down on me. Fill me with your precious, fill me with your precious. It's gonna be a lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. All right, guys, thank you so much. It's gonna be a lovely day.
Now is the time we get to experience the incredible power of giving and receiving. It's your very presence and your generous gifts that you offer that feed the vitality of this community and allow us to continue to love, grow, and serve each other. There are many different ways to become a consistent giver. You know those. We've talked about those in the past. I invite you to hold your gift in your hands as I take stage direction and bless this together. So, next slide, please. We will bless this gift together as we say out loud, joyously I give this gift, knowing the divine presence blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. We are light, love, power, and presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.